We traveled around our hometown community of Fairfield, Texas to learn about the highlights and struggles of owning a small business.
Not only do the owners face the challenges of owning a small business, but they are all females.
The small town of Fairfield, Texas has a population of 2,917.
Fairfield is the county seat of Freestone County. It was founded in 1851.
The downtown area is the hotspot of Fairfield, varying from a law firm office to a barbershop.
Our first stop was a boutique called Kennedy's Corner. Kennedy's Corner is owned and run by Amy Ralston.
What are some struggles of owning a small business?
Staying relevant, always changing with what people want and what they need.
What risks have you had to make for your business?
Well, the daily risk is buying stuff for your store, and if nobody likes it, then it sits there and you lose money. That's one of the biggest, risk. But trying new things is hard. Also, that's one of the hardest things, because you've got to keep changing and trying. And sometimes you fail, and sometimes it's good.
Who has helped you with your business?
I would say probably everyone. My family, all my friends, all my loyal customers that come in and shop over and over, and mostly God has helped me. There are a lot of prayer that the doors are still open.
Downtown barbershop worker Loopy Barlow came to the school to be interviewed. Miss Barlow informed us about the everyday highlights and struggles in the barbershop.
After that, we talked to Frico designer Amy Evans. Frico stands for Freestone County.
How did you start your business?
So I sort of started my business on accident, to be honest. The true story of the Frico brand, at least that part of East Pine Design, is I had the idea and I created one decal to go on my truck. And I put it on my truck, and I told my husband I'm going to drive around and I'm going to see if anyone asks me where I got it or what it means. And not very long after that, I was selling like 100 decals, and then came shirts, and then came hats, and the rest is history.
Okay. How did you advertise your business?
So advertising for a small business can really be different depending, again, on the type of business and where you are. For me, I primarily use social media. I utilize Facebook and Instagram. I use Facebook Live to promote certain events and certain new releases. A lot of my advertising revolves around pictures of new products, so that social media works best for me. And also, my product is very visual, so it sort of creates its own word of mouth advertising, and so that's really basically how I advertise.
What changes have you made for your business?
So my business has changed from the beginning, and it still continues to change. The biggest change is probably scaling up. I mean, I started with a one shirt, one style, and 60 shirts, and now I have multiple styles and long sleeve, short sleeve, different colors, different graphic prints, so it's constantly changing.
What sacrifices have you made?
So one sacrifice, probably the main sacrifice, is for a long time I had a full-time job, and when you have a full-time job you have a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month, and when you start your own business it's up to you to create the income. So you have your idea and you either sell your merchandise or you don't, and for my family that was a sacrifice, but it was so worth it, I think.
How long did it take to start your business?
So it really, I guess from the time I really printed that first decal and put it on my truck, it was really only a few months. It snowballed and it started really quickly. But to be honest, it took me several years to step out and take that chance. I wanted to do something creative for a long time, and I was slowly, over the course of years, learning how to use a design program, teaching myself on the computer. So in that way, it took a long time.
What risk have you had to make for your business?
So, I mean, like I said about the sacrifice, you're taking a risk when it comes to money. Some people borrow a lot of money to start a business. I went about mine in a little bit different way. But another risk that I feel like I take is, it's just me. It's my face on the the Facebook Live. It's my ideas. No one's hired me to create, the Frico merchandise or things like that. So if my idea gets out there and flops, it's me. So in that way, it feels kind of like a risk. You're sort of risking yourself by putting your idea out there and seeing if anyone picks up on it.
What has been the scariest part of your career?
So the scariest part really has been, to be honest, it's been kind of having to accept certain things about myself. Like, I thought, I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm not a freelance designer. Those things sounded so fancy and cool, and it was kind of scary to finally realize that I am. I'm a business owner, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a creator, and I really felt like this is what I was supposed to do, and it was new, so it was pretty scary.
Finally, we talked to the owner of the store called Accessories Etc.
What are some struggles of owning a small business?
I think one of the main struggles in a small business is it's a small business. You're not a big box store like a Walmart or a Target, and you're not big like the Dress Barn or some of the major stores. You are a small business, and trying to get your local people to come into your business and to support you. Everybody thinks you got to go out of town to shop, but there are some things you can buy in town. And I think that's the one thing, letting the community around you know that you are here and that you have things to offer them where they don't have to go out of town.
What changes have you had to make for your business?
I've had to make changes in the design of the building. I'm constantly trying to move product to make sure that it stays new and current. You may have a display sitting someplace and maybe it's not selling very well. If you'll move it someplace else, you'll be surprised how it gets the attention. I've also had to make some changes in the way that I buy because I can't, just because I like the product doesn't mean that the people around are going to like the product. So I've had to change some of my buying habits too.
What sacrifices have you had to make?
I think the greatest sacrifice that I have made is the fact when you own your own business, you're not able to pick up and go and take off like a lot of people are that are retired. I have two grandchildren here in Fairfield, and I have 2 grandchildren in Nacogdoches. I don't get to go to those kids' events in Nacogdoches because I have a business. And if there is an event or something going on during the school time for my kids here, I don't get to go to those events because if you're not open, you can't sell. So that has been a downside to me owning my business.
Finally, we asked the owners what are their goals for the future of their business. Here are their responses.
The main goal is to keep my customers happy. Customer service is the #1 aspect in having your own business.
The main goal is probably just to continue to expand and grow, and in a way that's profitable. And another goal is probably to branch out and maybe start a new line of merchandise, whether it's something that's local or something that involves another part of the state or another type of brand.
Be a presence here in Fairfield to have things for people to buy that they don't have to go out of town. Like if somebody needs an emergency wedding gift, I've got wedding gifts, birthday gifts. I'm already doing graduations and things of that sort. Like the lady that just left a few minutes ago, she was buying for a grandbaby because she knew, she got off work, she knew that I had some things that she needed, and she came to me to get those things.
This experience taught us how to manage our time, effort, and so much more.
Thank you to all the female business owners that inspire us to reach our dreams.